Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we are diving deep into, well, one of the most foundational and you could say controversial books ever written on achievement, Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich.
It really is. And our mission here for you is not just to summarize it, it's to pull out the core, actionable philosophy of what Hill believed makes a winner.
We're talking about those famous 13 principles, that almost mechanical process of turning an abstract idea into, actual wealth.
Right. And we want to show you exactly how to do that.
And whether you're new to this or have read it a dozen times, we're going to get practical. We're talking about the 6 specific steps for creating a burning desire, what burning the ships actually means for you today, and how your own subconscious mind is this incredibly powerful magnet.
It all starts with the foundation, the big idea of the whole book.
Which is that thoughts are things. I mean, a thought by itself is just a thought. But Hill says when you mix it with a definite purpose, with persistence, and especially with this intense burning desire, it suddenly has power.
Real power. The power to become its physical equivalent, whether that's money or something else. And this is principle 1, desire.
And he's not talking about a wish, is he? Like, oh, I hope I get rich.
Not at all. It's an obsession. He uses the story of Edwin Barnes and Thomas Edison to really drive this home.
Right. Barnes was obsessed with one thing, becoming Edison's business partner.
He didn't just send a letter. He had no money for a train ticket, so he jumped on a freight train to get there.
Just shows up.
Just shows up looking like a total vagrant and announces he's going to be Edison's partner. Not asking for a job, but stating a fact.
And that intensity is what got Edison's attention.
Exactly. Edison said he saw that Barnes had made up his mind to stand by until he succeeded, and he did. Years later, he became an incredibly wealthy partner. The desire was that strong.
That kind of intensity, it leads right into his next big idea, which is burning the ships.
It's such a powerful image. The commander who lands his troops and then gives the order to burn their own boats.
Because if there's no way to retreat, you only have one option.
Win or perish.
But, how does that apply today? I mean, we're always told to have a plan B, to pivot if things don't work out. Burning the ships sounds reckless.
That's a great point. And Hill isn't talking about financial recklessness. He's talking about mental resolution. It means you have completely, 100% ruled out failure as an option in your mind.
So your plan B isn't allowed to distract you from making plan A happen.
Precisely. Because temporary defeat is going to happen. It's guaranteed.
Yeah.
And quitting right before the finish line is, the most common failure of all. He tells that story of the guy who quit just 3 feet from gold.
Right. Success was literally just around the corner, but he gave up.
Which is where you need principle 2, faith. And again, this isn't necessarily a spiritual thing. He calls faith the head chemist of the mind.
Meaning it's the catalyst. It's what takes a thought and turns it into a belief that the subconscious can actually work with.
Right. You have to believe you can get it, not just wish for it. Without that absolute faith, the thought has no real energy behind it.
Okay, so if desire and faith are the foundation, how do you actually build on them? How do you make it happen?
This is where we get to the mechanism. Principle 3, autosuggestion. And this is where his famous 6 practical steps come in.
This is the part you really need to get. So step 1.
Fix the exact amount of money you want. Not a lot of money. A specific number.
Because vague goals get vague results. Okay, what's step 2?
Determine exactly what you'll give in return. A service, a product, an idea. Nothing is free.
Step 3 is a deadline. A definite date when you will have that money.
And step 4, create a definite plan and, this is key, begin at once. Don't wait until it's perfect. Just start.
Then the last 2 steps are the self-programming part.
Yes. Step 5, you write it all down in a clear statement. The amount, the deadline, what you'll give, and the plan.
And then step 6, you read that statement aloud twice a day, morning and night. And as you read it, you have to see, feel, and believe you already have the money.
You have to feel it. That's the crucial part. It's what we now call creative visualization.
Like an athlete visualizing the perfect race over and over again.
You're making it an obsession, right?
Exactly. That obsession is what fuels the autosuggestion. Because your subconscious mind is driven by emotion. It doesn't respond to, lukewarm thoughts.
And this is where the big warning comes in. A warning you really need to listen to.
Yes. The subconscious mind is completely neutral. It doesn't judge.
It can't tell the difference between a constructive thought and a destructive one.
Right. So if you're constantly telling yourself you're doomed to poverty or that you'll never succeed, your subconscious will just go, okay, and work to make that a reality just as hard as it would for a positive goal.
It's a powerful tool. but it works both ways. So to fight that, Hill suggests creating what he calls the other you.
It's like an alter ego, right? A version of yourself in your mind that just doesn't recognize defeat. It's your mental bodyguard against all that negativity and doubt.
Okay, so we've covered the mental prep. Now let's shift to organized, real-world action. And that starts with Principle 4, specialized knowledge. The key here is that knowledge by itself isn't power. It only becomes power when you organize it into a plan and aim it at a specific goal.
So having a PhD in philosophy probably won't help you build a tech startup.
Probably not. You need specialized knowledge for the thing you want to do. And if you don't have it, you have to find a way to get it. Or, more likely, ally yourself with people who do.
Which leads right into Principle 5, imagination. He calls it the workshop of the mind.
And he says there are two kinds. First is synthetic imagination, which is just rearranging old ideas into new combinations. This is what most business innovation is.
Taking what already exists and putting it together in a new way.
Exactly. And then there's creative imagination. This is where you get those flashes of inspiration, those hunches that seem to come from nowhere. He believed this connects us to a kind of infinite intelligence.
And whichever form you're using, it's like a muscle. You have to use it or it gets weak.
Right. And those ideas from your imagination need a plan. So Principle 6 is organized planning. This is where the mastermind concept is so important.
The idea of surrounding yourself with like-minded people.
Yes, a small group, meeting regularly in total harmony to help perfect and carry out the plan. 10 minds working as one are just infinitely more powerful than one mind working alone.
And to lead a group like that, he says you need things like unwavering courage, self-control, and a habit of doing more than you're paid for.
That last one is huge, always delivering more value than expected.
Then finally in this section, Principle 7, decision, or as he puts it, the mastery of procrastination.
This is the big one. He found that successful people make decisions very quickly, and they change them very slowly, if at all.
While people who fail do the exact opposite. They take forever to make a decision.
And then they change it at the first sign of trouble. They're also too easily influenced by what other people think. Even well-meaning family and friends can, kill a great idea with doubt. You have to be immune to opinions that don't serve your purpose.
All right, now let's talk about keeping the momentum going. We get into Principle 8, persistence.
This is so simple but so critical. It's just the sustained effort required to turn that desire into reality, and he was very clear. Lack of persistence is the #1 reason people fail.
It's not just about gritting your teeth, though. He says it's a state of mind that you cultivate.
Yes, by making the desire stronger, you build a bigger fire. Because if your mind is idle, a void is created, and that void gets filled with what he calls poverty consciousness.
That's the default setting for most people, right? A mindset of lack and scarcity.
It is. So you have to actively, persistently occupy your mind with money consciousness, that positive, magnetic belief that you will succeed. It's a daily discipline.
And that discipline requires power, which brings us back to Principle 9, the power of the mastermind. It's about more than just ideas.
It's about creating an actual force. He believed that when 2 or more minds work in perfect harmony, they create an intangible third mind, a synergistic energy that multiplies everyone's efforts.
Okay, now for maybe the most controversial one. Principle 10, sex transmutation.
It definitely requires some careful framing for today. The key word is transmutation. It means to change the form of energy.
So he's saying that the desire for physical intimacy is the most powerful human drive.
By far. And that the most successful people learn to harness that intense energy and redirect it. They transmute it from a purely physical drive into a creative one for art, for business, for accumulating wealth.
So it's about channeling your strongest personal drive into your work.
That's a good way to put it. He believed that doing this develops imagination and courage to the level of genius. It's like using the highest octane fuel available for your goals.
And the last few principles get even more abstract. We have the subconscious mind, the brain, and the sixth sense.
Right. This is his explanation for how we connect to that infinite intelligence. The subconscious is the connecting link that works day and night. The brain is the broadcasting and receiving station for your thoughts.
And the sixth sense is the final piece, the apex of the whole philosophy.
It's your intuition, those hunches and flashes of insight. He said you could only really develop this after you've mastered the other 12 principles. It's like your internal guidance system, warning you of dangers and showing you opportunities.
So as we wrap this up, let's go back to the enemies that can derail this whole process.
There are three of them, and they work together: indecision, doubt, and fear. Indecision creates doubt. The two of them together breed fear. It's a vicious cycle.
And when you're trapped in that cycle, you start making alibis, excuses.
Exactly. People who fail are full of them. If only I had more money, if I had a better education, if I had more time. They are, as Hill says, the child of their own imagination.
The world doesn't care about your excuses. It only cares about results.
So, to succeed, you have to take control of your mind. Let's just summarize the startup steps for you one more time.
First, find your burning desire.
Second, create that written statement with the 6 steps.
Third, use autosuggestion every single day.
Fourth, get the specialized knowledge you need.
Fifth, use your creative imagination to see your goal is already complete.
Sixth, cultivate persistence. Never, ever quit.
And seventh, master your decision-making. Act quickly and with confidence.
The big takeaway here is that success isn't luck. It's not chance. It is a state of mind that you have to deliberately and persistently create.
A powerful idea.
And I'll leave you with this final thought from Hill. He compares life to a game of checkers. Your opponent is time. If you hesitate, if you neglect to move, time will wipe your pieces off the board. Time does not tolerate indecision.
You have the ability right now to create a burning desire in your mind. There's no penalty for trying and failing, but the price for having no desire at all is certain failure. The reward is worth the effort. So will you make the start today?